All right, you've tuned into Heroes Wanted. I am your host, Joe Prim. This podcast is for challenging and encouraging fathers to become the husbands, fathers, and leaders that they were meant to be. So, here we go, trying out Facebook Live also as I record this episode of the podcast. This episode is solely going to be a preview of what to expect from Season 2. We started out Season 2 with a bang, with an episode that I recorded with my good friend and friend of whatever podcast I've been doing, Miles Francis. We recorded an epic episode. That episode, if you did not listen, do yourself a favor, go to iTunes or go to Spotify, look for Heroes Wanted Podcast, and check out that episode with my friend Miles Francis. That guy has been through a lot in the last 2 years, and yet he stands. I say that he has risen out of the ashes and continued moving forward and is stronger, smarter, and faster because of it. So go check out that episode if you have not already. This episode, like I said, is going to be just a preview episode of Season 2, what to expect. This is what's going to be the same. In Season 2 of Heroes Wanted, it'll be the same. It'll be a weekly podcast, like I said, focused on helping fathers become the husbands and leaders that they want to be. I'll continue doing interviews. In fact, I have a couple of really good interviews with coaches for dads and for men sitting on the back burner that will be released, probably another one this next week, and then maybe a few more weeks, and I'll release that other one. So I'll continue doing interviews. I absolutely love sitting down with like-minded men and just having a conversation, listening to what they've learned, listening to what they are seeing, listening to what their life experiences have taught them. I absolutely love doing that. And then solo episodes. I will continue doing solo episodes, mostly talking about mindset, things that I'm learning, things that I'm thinking, things that I'm experiencing in my life. I like to share that stuff. I like to share things the way that I'm seeing things in hopes that these things will change your life as well. That rather than go through all the experiences that necessarily I'm going through, that you can learn from the experiences and what I am seeing day to day. So that's what's going to stay the same. What's going to change are the solo episodes are going to be much, much shorter. 10 to 15 minutes will be the top length of the solo episodes. Number 2, I will be bringing back a lot of episodes from Ever Vigilant. Ever Vigilant was the first podcast that I did. I have probably 50 to 70 interviews that I did on that podcast. That podcast is all hidden away on my computer, and I pass those out sometimes to different people as they're needed. But I will begin to release some of those interviews and some of the other episodes that I like, that I think are worthwhile to bring back out there under this format. Why am I doing these changes? Why am I making these couple of changes? We're shortening episodes and bringing back episodes of Ever Vigilant to kind of fill in some voids. I need time. Honest, that's the truth. I need time. As we move forward now with our piece of property, it looks like we're going to be getting goats this weekend. I have structures to build for that. I owe my kids a fort, a playhouse that we've been talking about building for a year now. So I have things that I need to do, along with all the community things I'm involved in, and work. I have things that I need to do and time that I want to share with my family. It's summer here in Texas. It's been summer for a while. I want to get out. I want to go for walks. I want to enjoy the parks. I want to go out for drives. I want to go camping. I want to spend that time with them. And by doing pre-recorded episodes like the old episodes of Ever Vigilant, I can get that all racked up. I can get that ready to go and then release it later on. With the shorter episodes, it gives me an opportunity to think through some ideas and something that I've been thinking about, make 3 to 5 points, and then give them to you. Another reason why is I am thoroughly enjoying having the opportunity to have one-on-one coaching and one-on-one conversations with other men. This is one of my absolute favorite things to do, is to have conversations, to look at where people are, and to encourage them and to challenge them and ask the right questions in order for them to see for themselves where they are at and how they can get out of the rut that they're in. I want to dedicate more time to that. I want to have more opportunities for that, to give back in that way in a one-on-one environment. And I'll share with you, I got some other things coming up too. Of course I do, right? Always changing, always evolving, always finding new ways to serve this awesome community of guys that come out and listen to me. And that's humbling. I've had some cool opportunities this year to be on some new podcasts and bring in some new listeners. And I'm humbled by that. I'm grateful for this opportunity. So I have a couple of other projects that I'm working on that I really want to get moving forward. And this is another reason why I need some time back from recording this podcast to do other things. One of them is another podcast. I just had a phone conversation with a friend today, and I've been thinking about for a long time doing a second podcast, something different with a co-host. I think that would change things up immensely for me, something that I would absolutely love to do. I have some ideas and some thoughts of what I was wanting to do with that podcast, and when I shared that with him, he was all over it. He wanted to get involved and committed to be the co-host for this new podcast that we'll be putting out. Not going to divulge any more information than that, but stay tuned on Instagram at Prepare.Defend.Lead and right here on Facebook. And if you go to heroeswanted.us/coaching, up in the right-hand corner, if you've never subscribed to that free guide or gotten on my email list, that's an easy way that you can get on my email list for free. You get a free guide where I explain the 6 life-changing principles that I often talk about on this podcast, but it also gets you on the mailing list, and that way you'll be the first to know not only about this new podcast that I'm in the process of creating, but also this other program that I am going to lay out for you right now. I've had this idea for a while of creating kind of a hybrid Bible study / mastermind program. And I'm not sure if it will be both things each week or every other week or how I'm going to work it out. But I think that there is a lot of power behind the mastermind program. There's a lot of power behind allowing people to share where they are at and allowing other people to help them. To, if they have gone through that experience or they have experienced or have families that's experienced something or have an idea or have a way to support that person. I think that is invaluable and something that I really want to do with a mastermind. The mastermind that I'm thinking and the way this thing would work is different than anything you've seen before. It's very quick, very to the point, and I think can be very, very powerful. So we'll do a Bible study, maybe 1 week, ask questions, have some time to talk, and then the next week do the mastermind. But what I'm asking you guys to do is, if this is something that you'd be interested in doing right here on Facebook Live, or maybe we do it on Zoom, do a Bible study. I'll share what book we're going to use for that Bible study. We'll read through it. We'll have an opportunity to talk. And also mixed in will be this mastermind program. But what I'm really excited about, even more excited about than the mastermind and the Bible study part of this, would be an app that I have in the works. And this app that we would be using is for challenges. That's basically the whole point of this app, is to have your team set up and then be able to put out challenges. And I can put out a challenge like, let's see how many days it takes us to get to 500 push-ups for this group, or 1,000 push-ups for this group, or 1,500 miles for this group. And then each day, when people do it, they log in their miles that they ran, or they log in the push-ups that they put in, or we could even open it up and say, let's vote on who did the coolest thing this weekend. And guys submit a picture of what they did during the weekend, and then we vote on it. So we can do all sorts of challenges within this that would build camaraderie, build brotherhood, build relationships, because as I've always said, brotherhood doesn't come out of sitting and listening to something. It comes with getting involved. It comes with having, being challenged and going through adversity with one another. So I think we can create that adversity through an app. And although it's not going to be the same as meeting up and having a barbecue, it's something I think would be cool. And what I'm really looking forward to is, if we can build this group big enough that we could branch off into 2 groups, now we can have Alpha competing against Bravo team, and who can reach that 1,000 push-ups the fastest, or that 1,000 miles the fastest. And we can work as teams to compete against one another. And I think that would be really powerful. I think that would be fun. I think that would be a great thing to do. So if that strikes a chord with you, if you believe that this idea is worthwhile for me to pursue with this Bible study and mastermind and getting this app going, if you are really excited about it, I'm going to be real limited in who gets led into this thing to begin with. I'm really only looking for 10 people to roll through this beta program. So if you want to be one of them, you can either risk it and wait till you get an email if you're on the email list, or you can email me at jprim, J-P-R-I-M, at heroeswanted.us. Again, that's jprim at heroeswanted.us, and I can put you into the program. My goal with this program, this group coaching program, is that for the first 4 to 6 weeks of the program will be free. It will be a beta. It'll be open for these 10 people or 12 people or whatever it gets open to try this out, to work out some of the kinks, to work out some of the troubles. And then after that time period, it will be a small monthly fee each month to be a part of the group. During this beta, I want to be able to prove out that it's worthwhile. So if you're interested, if I don't get enough interest in this, I'm dropping this like a bad habit. This will not continue forward, and I will put it on the back burner and maybe reintroduce it later this year. But again, if you really want to get into this, if this resonates with you, jprim at heroeswanted.us. I'll leave that in the show notes of the podcast, and I'll leave that in the notes here on Facebook Live. I did want to hit, of course, on one thing that I've been thinking about lately, and not just only share the future here and what to expect for Season 2 of Heroes Wanted. And this idea. There are a lot of you out there who are disappointed in your employment or your job, or you're frustrated with your marriage, or your relationship with your children isn't where it needs to be, or you have not stepped forward in your community or in your church to become the leader that's needed there. And we go down a route of leaning on other people or pressing other people or pushing other people to do things or to change or to compromise who they are in order to justify the fact that we're not doing what we should be doing. Or we start to blame other people rather than take responsibility on ourselves. What I want to remind you of is that even though it seems like it would be easier to change other people, it would be easier to influence other people and get other people to do what you want them to do, the easiest way to see change in your life, the easiest, smartest, most beneficial, most rewarding way for you to begin to see change, to see growth, to see building of relationships, to see building of rapport, to see your leadership and your interrelationships in fatherhood and in the home and in your marriage begins with you. That's not often what we want to hear. We want a quick fix. We want a hack. We want something that we can tweak to change quickly, get what we want or get where we want. But the reality is the only way to get where you need to go, the only way to get what you want, the only way to improve, to grow, to discover God's will for your life involves you in making changes step by step and day by day in you. Now, if this is something you struggle with, if this is something where you feel like you're in a rut and you try and you listen to a million podcasts and watch a lot of YouTube videos and audiobooks and all these things to try to find a way out, but you feel stuck, you're frustrated, you can't find that purpose or that bigger reason, is what I'm going to say. If I could guarantee to get you out of this frustrating position that you are in, if I could help you find clarity and direction, help you feel confident about yourself and the decisions that you're making, if I could help you find your purpose, would you take me up on that offer? Here's how my coaching Heroes Wanted Apex program works. You work with me one-on-one. We meet together on Zoom for 45 minutes for 12 weeks. During that 12 weeks, we'll build a personalized plan. Me and you, we'll put our heads together. We'll build a personalized plan to help get you unstuck and very clear on where you want to go. The program has weekly video lessons that will help you learn what you need to do and assignments so that you can put into practice what you've learned in those lessons. Along with, as I was talking about before, challenges to get you outside of your comfort zone where growth occurs and confidence is born. I'll even provide you with the books that go along with the program. Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink, an awesome leather-bound journal. Here, look, see, here's the pack right here. Right here. This awesome leather journal that you can turn into something that you'll hang on to for a long time. Field notes for some of the different parts of the program, and then some other things. And I'll have that delivered right to your door. We'll have Amazon drop off that package right at your door. Now, like anything else worthwhile, it will take effort and sacrifice. But I will be with you every step of the way. You will be able to contact me 24/7 via text message. So what happens if you show up, you do your due diligence, you work on the lessons, you meet up and show up on time for these calls with me, and you don't find the clarity and direction you were hoping for? you don't find confidence and you still are hesitant on the decisions that you're making and you just have not found your purpose yet, well, this is what I'll do. I'll keep coaching you until you do. There's no risk to you of not leveling up from where you are today. This program isn't about change and it's not about evolution. It's about creating a new you. It's about uncovering the hero that's within you, but has been buried under the years of lies, fear, and expectation of others. Sure, you can continue doing nothing, reading countless books, or bunches of YouTube videos. Be careful, it's easy to get distracted. Those cat videos suck you in. Or listening to podcasts, hoping to find something that clicks. But if you're serious about finally taking control of your life, dropping the excuses and becoming the husband, the father, and the leader that you want to be, schedule a strategy call with me. We'll spend an hour to 2 hours, if that's what it takes, coming up with a game plan to get you out of the rut that you are in. I am committed to helping fathers that are stuck like I was, in the snow, in the mud, spinning my tires, pedal to the floor, burning all sorts of energy, all sorts of efforts, but I was stuck. Along comes somebody with a different perspective, a different view, looking from the outside of you. From the outside, there's a different clarity. There's a different possibility to see where the issues truly lie. Sometimes it's as simple as moving a rock or some branches out of the way. Sometimes you need to get a tow truck in there and give you a pull and get you out. Let me help you on a strategy call. If you're interested in that, go to heroeswanted.us/coaching. From there, you can read a lot more about the program, and from there, you can schedule a strategy call with me. As always, men, hold fast, and God bless.